I don't remember. I kind of thought we did. I mean, usually I do activity-based costing first. If you look at the syllabus. You were being lazy? No? Good. You weren't listening? Okay, so we learned job order costing, activity-based costing, and process costing. Did we learn anything else? So is that it? We're done? We can go? He wishes. Okay. So let's go through those. But that is kind of nice, right? It's in effect just 3 chapters out of the book, right? But potentially a lot of calculations. Let me look at this. Let me look at my notes for the test and see if there's anything. Tell me a little bit about the test, Ashton. What do you know about the test? How many questions? 30 questions. How many points apiece? Anthony. What are you doing? He's texting again. Now he's just being more. Are you texting again? You're waiting on a review? You're playing a game? No? Walkie-talkie? No. Texting. He's texting. Know your journal entries. Why don't you text that? Know your, he will text that to whoever it is, to some poor random person. Know your journal entries. What am I talking about there when I say that? Know your journal entries. The arrows, absolutely correct. Every arrow is a journal entry. And so if I ask you a journal entry on the test, I'm actually trying to make it create an easier question. I'm trying to ask you, instead of asking you to do all the T accounts, I'm trying to ask you about an arrow. Trying to ask you about an arrow, which is a journal entry, okay? So know about them numerically and conceptually. Practice your homework, especially the stuff from activity-based costing. If you recall, I assigned at least one homework assignment for activity-based costing, which we really didn't talk about in class, okay? So I do hold you responsible for all the stuff I teach you in class, and I also hold you responsible for all of the homework I assign, okay? And so I did assign homework that I didn't cover in class. In fact, I didn't cover the topic all in class, but that'll be on the test, okay? And then lastly, know what types of firms will use those different costing systems, and we'll review that here momentarily. You know, what types of, because there's 3 different ways to answer that question, and different types of companies will use those different systems, those different accounting systems. Okay? So, 30 questions, 5 points apiece. What else? What can you bring with you to class? Joe, for the test? How do you, I'm sorry? An irregular size 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, as many notes as you want on just one side, okay? So cheat sheet, as it were. Calculator, bring a calculator, no phones. I will ask you to not have phones out. Don't want phones out. So calculator and a writing utensil. I would encourage a pencil, maybe even a spare. I've even seen people bring spare calculators, because I've seen it happen where calculators died during a test, which is really kind of unfortunate for the test taker. I remember one time a person smacking their calculator in the front. It was this individual in the front row smacking their calculator, trying to get their calculator to work during a test. Any other questions, comments, concerns, random thoughts? Are we ready to review? Okay. Armando, what are the T accounts down the left side? That is, if I were to ask you the question, what is true of all the T accounts down the left side, that would be the correct answer. Okay, but I was really asking the question, Megan, what are they? Name the T accounts down the left side. Name them.
Material, direct labor, and overhead.
Manufacturing overhead. And Armando, what is true of all those accounts? They're product costs. What are the T accounts across the top, Katie? Sorry. What are the T accounts across the top? Name them, please. You don't know. And somebody remind me. Well, actually, let's do it now, and then I'll kind of re-ask these questions. Okay? Let's talk about the information on page 88 first. So if everybody would go to page 88, which is where everybody's looking anyway. What kind of a company would use job order costing? Ekta? A company that makes distinct products is precisely correct. A company that makes distinct products. Can you give me an example of a distinct product or two, Holden?
Like something custom made.
Like something custom made. You didn't write down all the examples, though, that I...
Like.
He didn't, did he?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't. Okay, something custom made, though, is very good. Something custom made is clearly a distinct product. Gesundheit. Can, Nick, can you give me another example of a distinct product? Construction companies, houses. Tyson, can you give me another one? Shipbuilding. Robina? Oil well drilling. Tony, there's one more that I know there's at least one more I gave you. Yes. Dell Computers. Dell Computers. We talked about Dell Computers because when does Dell make a computer for you? When you order it. That is very custom. Okay. And what's the other one?
The batch of chocolate chips.
Huh?
And the batch of cookies.
Oh, it wasn't, yeah, that was, we did talk about it. So which comes first? Making a distinct product or using a job order costing system? Brittany. Which comes first? I drew an arrow. I bet I drew an arrow. Making, which way is the arrow? Do you have an arrow drawn? An up-down arrow drawn? Up. Yeah, so distinct product comes first. Job order costing system comes second. So they're using the job order costing system because they're making distinct products. Okay? So that was way number one, job order costing. And then the second way was process costing. Let's talk about that one next. Tyler, what kinds of products would use process costing? Homogeneous or homogeneous, however one chooses to pronounce that. Kylie, can you give me an example of a homogeneous product?
A bottle of water.
Bottled water. Kristen, can you give me another? Paint. Particularly the paint base. Brett.
I don't have any written down, but I was gone this day and I didn't.
I'm sorry?
I was gone this day. I watched the video. I don't remember seeing examples, but.
Well, you can watch the video again and get some. Get some. Awesome. Will, do you have one? Nope. Nicole? Oil refinery. Classic example. Classic example, an oil refinery. It's actually harder to find good examples.